Let's bring in Judge Jeanine Pirro, co-host of The Five. Judge, it's great to have you on. I want to pick up or kind of Nate that point he was making about Hope Hicks saying, listen, you know, the former president was very concerned about Melania here, which kind of undercuts the prosecution's case, which is this was all about influencing the 2016 election.
Well, Trace, it doesn't just undercut the prosecution's case, it demolishes it. Because clearly we know that non-disclosures have been done for many years as part of a civil, essentially, settlement between two parties to keep things quiet. But here, what you have is one of the closest people to the president who first told the president about some of the tapes that were coming out, or the Access Hollywood tape in particular. She then is telling him about the McDougal situation and the Stormy Daniels situation, and Trump doesn't want the newspapers delivered. He doesn't want Melania to see him. Trump doesn't say, oh my gosh, what is this going to do to my presidential campaign? Oh, I'll never be president. What Trump says is, keep the newspapers away from my house. I don't want Melania to see this. You know, basically, I'm in marital trouble here. And that's why this whole case shouldn't have been prosecuted in the first place. It's clear that businessmen do this for their families. They do it for their brand. And what the feds are trying to prove is that, oh, no, he just did this time is for the campaign. No, it wasn't. And the amazing part is all of these misdemeanors are beyond the statute of limitations. They are no way prosecutable now, but for a felony about which we know nothing that they've attached it to. So the whole thing is a kangaroo court. And the gag order in particular, it is ridiculous. I've issued gag orders just like Judge Merchan. As a DA, my office has been gagged. I get it. But you cannot gag one party and not the other party, especially when one party is running for president of the United States and is being prosecuted by his opponent, essentially, as shown today by Colangelo doing the cross-examination of Hope Hicks. Colangelo is from the Justice Department, Joe Biden's Justice Department. It doesn't get worse than this, Trace.
And Judge Michael Cohen is getting rich off this. Michael Cohen is on every day on TikTok. He's on his podcast. He is speaking and talking about every aspect of this and making a bunch of money. And nobody is telling Michael Cohen, the chief witness, to hush up.
You know, it's funny, but it's also sad, Trace. I mean, we have a man who's running for president whose civil liberty is at stake if he's convicted of this felony. And the truth is that you've got Michael Cohen trashing him. The president is prevented from even responding. To allow a witness to go out there on TikTok, make money, and trash the president, and then sanction the president, the former president, if he says anything like in response, well, what'd you think of David Pecker? The president said, oh, he's a nice guy. They fine him, they sanction him, and the judge threatens what he calls an incarceratory measure. He's threatening him with jail on these gag orders. This is, I guarantee you, Trace, this goes to the Court of Appeals, and it will be reversed, because you cannot do this in America. You cannot do this kangaroo-type justice in America.
It seems to me, Judge, and Carrier Bond has pointed this out, that the goal here is to make this all as sleazy and salacious as possible. Even though they can't point to the crime, even though they can't point to what is illegal in this, if they can make it dirty enough for the jury is going to be just astonished, and they'll convict.
Yeah, well, there's no question that the prosecution is throwing everything they can and hoping something will stick. This whole idea of the tape from 2005, it has absolutely no connection to this case, and any mention of it should be reversible error. They should have made motions in advance to prevent any discussion of this from coming out. But no, you do have a corrupt judge here, and I got to tell you, Trace, I am very reticent to say this because I was a judge, and I get it. But this is a judge who should have recused himself, who should not be in this case. He doesn't know the law, or he's forgotten everything he learned about it. And they are railroading Donald Trump. And it's not because I support Trump. This is legally an insufficient case that is beyond the statute of limitations, that is full of all kinds of prejudicial and non-probative evidence.
Down to our final minute, I'll kind of start and circle back to where we were at the top, talking about Hope Hicks' testimony. It seems like her entire testimony is kind of in the wake of, as you mentioned, the Access Hollywood tape here, and that the Trump campaign was trying to scramble to find or get rid of anything that might be damaging on top of that.
Well, clearly, and, you know, part of that, obviously, is Melania. And in fact, apparently, from what I heard today, and I was not in the courthouse, that the president said it doesn't sound like something I would say. So apparently he was shocked by it as well. And right then and there, in a marriage where he wanted to prevent, clearly, according to Hope Hicks, his wife from hearing about any of this stuff.
Yeah. Judge, it's great to have you on, as always. Thank you for your time.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.